Today, we are spilling the tea on our relationship. Today we're going to be telling you guys our love story. I love to hear other people's love story, how they got together, how they met. But as much as we're making this video for you guys to enjoy, we're also
just fun to look back.
Yeah, we're also kind of making it for ourselves to look back on, and as we kind of get older and forget all the little details. So
yeah, because one of the reasons Kinsley and me, mostly Kinsley, wanted to start a YouTube channel was we see other YouTubers who have YouTube channels and they like have all the memories from when they were dating and married. They just have a lot of like trips they went on and they have all those memories encapsulated in a video, which we thought was pretty neat.
Okay, so we do touch a little bit on like how we met, our first impressions, a few little details about our dating relationship in our Q&A video that we filmed together. If you guys want to check it out, I will have it linked in the cards here if you want to go watch that first, and I'll also have it linked in the description. But yeah, should we start with kind of how we met? I think we probably like officially met at our church's youth camp.
We were both 14.
And we were like kind of friends of friends. Like we weren't really friends, but we like hung out in the same friend group, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, and I didn't really like her because I thought she was boy crazy and awkward.
Yeah. Mind you, we were both 14, so I was kind of, a little boy crazy, and he was a little
terrified of everything except my guy friends.
Yeah, he was very terrified of girls, so we were kind of like on opposite ends of that awkward teenager spectrum, I guess. So we did not just click right away, I guess I will say. But we did kind of remain friends, and I feel like our friendship deepened just a little bit when we turned like 17.
Yeah, 17 or 18 when we were at a church conference. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh, that's okay.
We were at a church conference and we stayed up with some other friends till like 4 o'clock in the morning talking about like the church and spiritual things and what we liked, what we didn't like about where we were at life. And I don't know, it's just really cool, and we felt like our friendship really took on a new light. Like we became real friends, which is funny because earlier that same evening, I forget what, something was happening. Anyway, me and a buddy went over where she was to sit down so we could get a something. They were passing something around, and me and my buddy wanted to get it. And I couldn't just sit right beside her. I had to sit one seat away from her because I was like, oh, she's a girl.
Yeah, that's kind of... Oh, at 17, he was still kind of awkward around girls.
Goodness. I was still very awkward.
Yeah, and I remember being like, really? Like, you couldn't just sit beside me? So I always thought, like, because he acted that way, that he just, like, really didn't like me, and I kind of thought you were out of my league. Like, you were here and I was here. So I never even thought that we would ever get together or that you would ever have any interest in
I had a master plan. I had a master plan.
So, fast forward a few months later, so this was in June, fast forward to Labor Day weekend, we had a little kayaking trip, and it's like a little weekend thing that some people from our church do. Can I just say, this thing is in Kansas. He's from Kansas, I'm from Ohio, so I went out. Me and my family went out to this. I think that we forgot to say that we are from completely different states, but we're kind of part of a big church with like little congregations.
All over the United States.
Yeah, all over the country, so we'll meet up for conferences and camp and everything, and we kind of make friends with people from different states, which is kind of cool. Anyways, with that said, there were some people, we had this whole Labor Day weekend thing, and I started to have a crush on you at the beginning. I thought you were like so cute, so funny, and I was like, I have known him forever, and why am I all of a sudden like crushing on him?
Yeah, and we played a lot of spike ball that weekend, and we started to do, it was kind of our thing for the next like year and a half. Did a double high five.
This cool handshake, I guess we
apparently just one high five wasn't enough contact.
Yeah, we wanted that extra physical touch, you know?
Extra.
You know? But I remember I was like, why do I have a crush on him? Like, I didn't really feel like the feelings were being reciprocated. And so I was like trying to pray. I was like, God, help me to stop having a crush on him because I don't want it to ruin a super fun weekend because I'm like thinking about this boy and he doesn't like me back. when I could just be having fun with him, having fun with my friends. So I was definitely like trying to pray away those feelings over the weekend and just trying to focus on my friendships, my relationship with God, and not on a guy. So then on Monday, on Labor Day, was the day that we went kayaking, and somehow him and I just got kind of stuck kayaking together. And I kept thinking that you were gonna like at some point paddle off to go be with your friends, because you know it's kind of awkward just to hang out one-on-one.
I was like, wow, this girl's actually like easy to talk to and fun to be around. She has a lot of cool life story things. She's been like, she lived in Haiti and was just really passionate about a lot of the things that I was passionate about as well. We both really like The Office too. We really clicked on that.
Yeah, we vibed on liking some of the same shows. We had a lot of good like deep conversations too. So at the end of this kayak trip, there's like this cliff thing that you can jump off of. And I'm very scared of heights, and I'm not much of a daredevil, but I jumped off that cliff like pretty fast, and I just had this like adrenaline rush, like I really wanted to impress you.
It only took her 5 minutes.
Yeah, instead of like a half an hour. I remember I was like, I kind of wanted to like prove myself to you because I knew you were kind of a daredevil, and I was like, I want him to think I'm like super cool too.
And so I did a backflip off of the thing because I was like, watch this.
And I remember thinking like, is he trying to impress me?
I was. Master plan. And then at the end of that, I was somewhere else and she was leaving. And I think my sister sent me a text like, hey, Kinsley's leaving. And I was like, oh man, I'm not going to get to say bye.
And I remember being like, where's Keegan? I want to tell him goodbye. But it was like kind of awkward because we had like spent all that time together. But I like was really starting to like you. And I was like, maybe he likes me back. I don't know. Anyways,
and I made it back right as she was getting into the van. And we did an awkward double high five.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Kind of like that.
Pretty much.
We could not hug because, you know, no. I thought that you would like text me on the way home because that's like what a guy would do.
No, because I was still terrified.
We had each other's numbers already, just like we'd had it for years just because we were in like mutual group chats and whatever. So there was no big like exchanging of numbers, and I knew he had my Snapchat and my phone number. How long did it take you to end up texting me?
I don't know, like 2 weeks. I think I was on my way to basketball practice, and my sister, who's her friend, used my phone because I told her to text Kinsley because I was terrified.
I told you guys in that other video, I just like freaked out. I was like so excited because I felt like it was kind of confirmation that you liked me, even though like it's not that big of a deal that you would text me. I feel like everything is so dramatic and like, yeah.
Well, we're like 17 and we're like, we're texting.
We started texting for a little bit, just having conversations. And I was on my way to a DC trip, like a little field trip. It was my senior year. And I got a text that said, hey, can I ask you a question? I kind of knew what was coming, but I didn't expect you to like share your feelings over text. And
which is not the way to go about it. If there's a guy watching this, be a man, call her.
You said something like, I kind of like you. It was like kind of.
Wimpy.
It was like, I kind of like you, but I don't want it to ruin our friendship. And I remember being
like... It took me like 30 minutes to send it. Like I had it typed out for so long.
I remember being kind of bummed because I was like, well, now I feel like we're officially not friends anymore. It's like, it's gonna be awkward now. And also, why did you text me about your feelings? Don't text about your feelings. So I texted him back and I was like, hey, I think you're a really good friend and I'd love to talk about this more in person. So that just kind of cut that conversation off.
And I was like, oh, she thinks I'm a great friend. Well, that was fun while it lasted.
I wasn't really friend-zoning him, but I wasn't really quite sure where my feelings were at. I knew I had a crush on you. And I was like, I need to like see him in person again and kind of feel this out a little bit.
See if she actually still liked the look of me.
Fast forward a few months to October, our youth had like a little barn party, like a little barn dance, and I convinced him to come out for it, and he like hung out at our house the first night.
And we didn't say one word to each other because we were so nervous.
We were so awkward.
And then I spent the entire evening after we left like beating myself up, like, oh my goodness. Can't even talk to this girl that you told that you liked her.
But anyway, so that evening was the barn party, was the night that we dressed up in our cowboy clothes and
I went and bought boots for $170. I don't think I really have ever worn them.
I know that we kind of talked a little bit like here and there that night. We were really awkward, but came to a point where some people were like dancing together and I really wanted to dance with you and I kind of made a move. We had learned some like barn dances. I don't think I was like, do you want to dance? Because I wasn't gonna like seem too flirty. I think I was like, do you want me to teach you the dance that I learned or something like that?
Kensley kind of like gave me a side glance and my friends basically shoved me towards her because that's how 17-year-old boys work. And then we just walked up and I was like, hey. And she was like, you want me to teach you the dance? And then that's what we did.
Yeah, we danced together for a little bit.
It was really fun.
And I remember Dad was really watching us.
Oh yeah.
And you were so scared.
I was terrified.
At some point when we were dancing, you were like, hey, do you want to go outside and talk for a little bit? And he popped the question.
Will you marry me? Right there.
You kind of just told me that you were interested in pursuing a relationship with me.
More of a dating relationship, like not like a texting relationship.
Making it official.
Yeah.
I did not expect that, I guess. I didn't expect it to move so fast for you to ask me then, and I didn't really feel prepared. And I had been really like trying to guard my heart up until that point for the past few years and really like praying about the man that I would date because I really prayed that I would marry the first man that I dated. I was like, didn't want to be just quick to jump into this relationship with you. So I was like, well, I need to give it some time to like talk to my parents, to pray about it. But I think I told you that I did like you. So I went home and I talked to my parents and they were both like super supportive, which I kind of didn't expect. They didn't really know him that well, but they really blessed me in that relationship as I was like talking to them about it. I don't know how long it was after you left. I called you. It wasn't honestly that long.
It was like maybe 3 days.
Of praying about it.
Which was still long enough for me to be like, oh boy.
I expected it to be longer, but I remember feeling like, I feel like this is the right thing and I feel like I could just overthink it and then I'm gonna like scare myself away instead of just like kind of taking a leap of faith and just going for it. And I'm not saying yes to a proposal. Like, I don't know what God's plan is for this relationship, but so I called him and I was like, I think I would want to pursue a relationship with you.
Then the next day, I called her dad, which again, terrifying, but he prayed with me and we talked for a while and got his blessing.
We had our first date like a few months after I had said yes to pursuing a relationship, and we went.
Oh yeah, because we weren't officially dating yet.
Yeah.
We were not officially dating.
We did not call ourselves official until we went on an official first date, even though we were basically dating, but
Yeah,
I wanted to like put a date on it. We went to a place here local to Dayton, Ohio called the Spaghetti Warehouse. We were so awkward. Like that whole date was just like, we were so excited and we just liked each other so much, but we just like
and
didn't
we
know
both
what to
got, didn't we both get chicken Alfredo?
Yep.
Which is not a good first date food.
do. No, it's really messy.
No,
but-
I'm like, so how many kids do you want?
And then we like drove around and we talked. It was kind of awkward. Like we tried to make conversation. We went to like a little waterfall place. It was really pretty. Like the leaves were falling on the trees. And I remember you asked like almost towards the end of the date where we were driving home. We had like an hour drive back to
We were
where
driving
we were
to a
going.
youth event.
You were like, can I hold your hand? And I was like, yes. And then it was like,
no, I came in like this. So
we were like holding hands like this for a while.
like my wrist was so bent, but I was like, this
We're
actually-
holding hands.
This hurts, but I don't care at all because we're holding hands. And we were like gripping tight.
Yes.
Because we
Oh,
were like-
cringe. This is so awkward. And I remember after a little bit I was like, this just does not feel right. And I was like, can I just try this? And it was like,
Bam.
Yeah.
That's better.
This is
Still
better. Still gripping that hand tight. So that was our very awkward first date. Very awkward beginnings of our relationship.
Yes.
But we weren't awkward for long. We warmed up pretty quick and we grew really close together.
But first, when we got to that youth event, because all of these people knew that were going on a date, when we walked into the youth event, everyone stopped and started clapping for us.
I forgot about that.
It was the most awkward thing. Like, you have no idea what to do when a room full of people that you're either really good friends with or hardly know all know that you just went on a date and start applauding you when you walk into the room. We were just like, oh, okay, ha, 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 ha.
Okay. Yeah, that was so awkward. I totally forgot about that. Anyways, we have shared some other parts of our relationship, like when he told me he loved me on the Q&A. But should we tell them jump ahead to the proposal and tell them how you popped the real question?
Okay, well, what I did was I set up a bunch of lights I hung pictures on the lights of like going through our relationship, and I had a remote to turn them on, and they were set up in her uncle's barn.
I was going home from this youth event, and he was like, no, I want to take you home. And I was like, you don't need to take me home. But also I was like, yeah, I want to spend some more time with you. But it was like a half an hour out of the way, but he like insisted. So I was like, okay. So he was like, I just want to take the long way home, which wasn't that abnormal for us because, we'd be having some good conversation. We weren't ready to go home yet. So I didn't really think anything of that. And we were really enjoying time together. I was like telling him like, hey, you should turn here. Like I wanted to like not get too far off the path. So I was literally giving him directions of where he should go. And he was pretty lucky that I was giving him the right directions because that would have been kind of fishy. Sorry, our camera shut off and we had to restart it. Where were we?
She literally gave me directions randomly to the place where I was going to propose to her.
Anyway, so he turned into my grandpa's and uncle's like lane into the barn, and he was like, your dad wants us to pick something up here. And it does have some storage stuff in that dad gets stuff out of, and I was like, okay.
It was so fishy. I was being so fishy. I have no idea how she didn't pick up on it.
No, there were so many weird signs that I was just like...
The biggest thing she wanted to be surprised, and she had told me that I probably wouldn't be able to surprise her with a proposal.
I was like, I'm gonna know.
Well, we walk into that barn, I click my remote, the lights go on, and she's like, what?
So it was a really special proposal. It wasn't anything super crazy, but it was super like...
I surprised her.
Yeah, I was so shocked that he surprised me, even with all the suspicious signs. We had about a 6-month engagement and we got married in September. He proposed to me in March. We got married in September and we are now exactly 7 months in. Today's our 7-month anniversary.
Dude,
How did we forget that?
I don't know.
Wow, what a perfect day to be filming this.
Oh, crushed it. We did not plan this.
Anyways,
we definitely didn't talk about it yesterday.
I did say, like, tomorrow's gonna be our anniversary, and then I, like, forgot. I think that's about it for what we have to say about our love story. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing that.
Hearing how awkward we were.
Yeah, kind of learning from some of our mistakes, It is pretty awkward to look back on, but you know what? It was worth it, and I'm glad we pushed through the awkwardness because...
Worked out pretty good.
It did.
We're still awkward sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. I will see you guys next week.